Hello and good day. This is the Bible Bard. A bard is a storyteller who recites traditional texts associated with a particular oral tradition, and I'm here to recite and to amplify what the literature of the Bible says about who is God and who are human beings. Here's the place we're at today. Philosophers have discussed for more than 2,500 years the idea of the source of human knowledge. I won't take time to reiterate all these ideas because we only usually discuss in this podcast what the Bible says about various topics. Regarding the topic of where human knowledge comes from, the Bible suggests two main sources. The first one is the creation we observe around us by using our senses and our powers of reasoning. For example, in Psalms 19, verses 1 and 2, the text of the Bible says, quote, "The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. Day after day they pour forth speech. Night after night they reveal knowledge. Their voice goes out into all the earth, their words to the end of the world." And that was written about 1000 BCE. In Romans chapter 1, verses 19 and 20, we get a similar thought. It says, quote, "Since what may be known about God is plain to them," that's the people of the world, "because God has made it plain to them, being understood from what has been made, so that people are without excuse." That's about 58 Christian era. We have examples also of the second way the Bible talks about knowledge, and that's knowledge from revelation. In the book Habakkuk, chapter 2, verses 2 and 3, the text reads, quote, "Then the Lord replied, write down the revelation and make it plain on tablets, so that a herald may run with it. For the revelation awaits the appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it lingers, wait for it. It will certainly not delay." Written about 605 BCE. In the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verses 21 and 22, the text reads, "He, God, gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to the discerning. He reveals deep and hidden things." Written about 530 BCE. And then in the book of James, in the New Testament, chapter 1, verse 5, the text says, "If any of you," that's people, "lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all, without finding fault, and it will be given to you." Written about 48 Christian era. As always, the Bible Bard provides the text from the Bible itself. And while I will provide a bit of commentary in the discussion section, the text is self-explanatory. Some human knowledge proceeds from observing the world around us, and that even includes knowledge we can gain about the invisible Creator God. Other human knowledge has its source in revelation from God, either from written sources or from God's direct gift of knowledge to individual humans. Now we see from Psalms 119, verses 1, 2, and 2, the following text. It says, quote, "The heavens pour forth speech. They reveal knowledge that every human being who's ever lived has access to. We observe the world through our senses and then can come to conclusions about God and ourselves using our own rationality." With this Bible idea, which was written quite early, Aristotle in around 322 BCE, Aquinas 1274 Christian era, Locke 1704, Berkeley 1753, Hume 1776, and even Kant 1804, they agree with this Bible thought. From the three examples of knowledge coming from Revelation, as in Daniel 2, verses 21 and 22, it states, quote, "He, God, gives wisdom." With this Bible idea, other philosophers agree, like Plato, 347 BCE, speaking of innate ideas. Augustine, about 430 Christian era, agreeing knowledge comes from God's illumination of the human mind. Descartes, about 1650 Christian era, thinking that innate ideas are the source of knowledge. And of course, Buddhism, 500 BC, and Taoism, 300 BC, agree also with this Bible idea. Now, while I'm interested primarily in what the Bible teaches, I'm listed above some human thinkers who have, using their own vocabulary, said similar things. Also, if you follow the Bible Bard, you know the verses I usually refer to are often a few examples from the Bible text, which often contains many more verses that express the same thought. Summary. The obvious point I'm making, and I hope most of the discussion about what the Bible teaches is obvious when reading the text. My point is that the Bible wants readers to know that there is no excuse for not knowing who God is, based upon both examining his creation, us and our physical world, and that God has provided verbal revelation, which is written and plain. I'm concluding again what this Vodcast has always asserted. By reading or listening to the biblical text, you can understand who God is and who you are according to the Bible. But naysayers, contradictors, and mockers want to suggest that the biblical view is somehow unreliable, out of date, even though they themselves have never read it. Ask them. They've never read it. The Bible Bard has read the entire Bible, all 727,969 words. I've read it cover to cover over 60 times. I think we're going on 70. I even provide my method for reading at www.biblebard.org/store. This podcast is directed at those who have not had, for no fault of their own, the opportunity to read the Bible for themselves. Those viewers or listeners who take seriously what the Bible teaches have, as James chapter 1, verse 5, quoted above, says, the opportunity to learn much more. I hope each of you seizes this possibility and begins trusting the biblical text to provide guidance and inspiration in living your lives. Conclusion. This is the way the Bible Bard works. Brief recitations, closely focused, no distractions, no rabbit trails. We're talking about what the literature of the Bible states, the ideas and concepts it presents, because most people have never engaged with biblical thought. Make up your own mind, whether you agree or disagree with the Bible's pronouncements. After watching or listening to a podcast, go to www.biblebard.org to download a transcript so you can read and refer to the content of the podcast. You can support the Bible Bard podcast on Patreon. As little as $1 a week or $5 a month helps cover the cost of the podcast. You can also give at GoFundMe. The Bible Bard himself takes no salary and does not financially benefit from gifts of supporters to the ministry. Send the Bible Bard any questions or remarks you care to offer to BibleBardUS@gmail.com. Glad to hear from you, and thanks in advance for following and sharing the Bible Bard content on all of our platforms. And remember, we also provide the same content in Urdu, Chigua, Swahili, Hindi, and Spanish, and you can follow us on all of those platforms. Until next time, this is the Bible Bard.